Now, Lori's appointment was effective November the 7th of 2020. So she's been the cemetery manager or program specialist in her mind since 2020, November the 7th of 2020. Let's take a quick look at how she's doing here. Here's the main office at the cemetery. This is the main cemetery gate here. This is the office that they use. This is the maintenance building here. You'll notice this building here in the center. This is a little stub out, and this is where they keep all of the lawn equipment. This is from the master plan, and this shows you the extent of equipment that is normally kept on site. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, probably 10 push mowers. There are at least 4, 5 backpack blowers. There are chainsaws up here on the wall, and there's a whole row of weed eaters right here. Now you can see this is the secured building, and you can see the kind of lock they have here. But that's not where the lawn equipment was kept. The lawn equipment was kept way over here in this little stub out shed. This is a picture of the shed here, and this is how they secured all of this equipment. When I was there in the first part of June, all of this equipment was stolen. This is from the 2007 master plan, but I have to assume that this, or a good resemblance of this equipment, was in the shed when somebody came and cut a lock during business hours, because the cemetery is locked at night. Somebody came in and stole all of this equipment. We're going to do a whole nother video on this and how Lori handled that. And so this is, again, from the master plan. This talks about the existing storage building, also known as the summer house. This shows it back then. This is the condition of this building today. You can see that the roof line is rotting out. The cemetery manager is responsible for the cemetery, all of its structures and everything else. At least they should be. But you can see here that this is the current conditions. Up near Broadway Street, there's a shed here, and there's a bunch of wood just stacked around here. Here in the middle is a photograph. Here in the middle of the photograph, let me zoom in on this. This is a tub, and it's got cans of spray paint and solvents in it. Why is this the condition of the cemetery? Nobody wants to go visit their loved ones and find piles of trash around. Now, this lumber here, if you notice this building here, there was a structure on there at one point. Going to Google Earth, we can see that here's a shed that was taken down. If this shed was actually removed because of health and safety reasons or whatever, why did they just stack everything on the ground? Why didn't they pick it up? Another point of what is going to be addressed in another video is when the city brought in the new water line, put in this pump station. They did it in the middle of a burial ground here. There was no archaeology done, no oversight. Again, that falls across the cemetery manager's oversight. Here you see that the pergola over here by the maintenance building is rotting and falling apart. None of these things are ever addressed. Here you can see in this photograph, here's a traffic control box here. Here's a plate compactor here. There's all kinds of old leftover parts strewn just behind the gate here so nobody can see them. But if you're visiting this family here, isn't this a pleasant sight to look at? And again, this is the office, this is Broadway, and this is just poor management. Allowing contractors or city crews to leave pieces of pipe laying around in an historic cemetery. Again, we're back to the summer house. You can see that this side of the roof is falling apart as well, but this is rebar that was removed over a year prior, and it's just thrown against the side of the building, and it's just a trash pile. This is perhaps one of the most disturbing videos, is that this here, these are slotted bases from grave sites. The city of Sacramento is picking this stuff up and moving it here, why? Here we find discarded sections of part of the old rose arbors. This will be another video in itself. There were several of these taken down. Why wasn't this thrown away? This was taken out over almost a year ago, and the trash continues to block pathways for the public. But the big question is what happened to the rest of them? Did city employees take them home? Did they recycle them? What happened to the material? There has to be accountability.